More than 25 business leaders, public sector policymakers, refugees and non-governmental organisations came together for a breakfast meeting with one thing on their mind: how to include more refugees in the UK's workplace.
Thank you to Nicola and to everyone at the GLA for organising this today. I am really excited. I'm Valerie Piet, I'm the Director of IOHR, and for us, London is our home. Our office is directly across the bridge here, and we were really thrilled to be able to come here and start this initiative with the GLA. For us, back in a very cold, very snowy February, we put an event on which was all about community sponsorship. And at IOHR, we're supporting community sponsorship, and we're sponsoring the first community sponsorship awards that are coming up in October with Citizens UK.
We're bringing together people from across London who are already doing really, really great work supporting refugees. So we've got businesses coming together, we've got civil society organisations coming together, we've got government coming together, and everyone's trying to play their part in terms of supporting the way forward. There's such a lot of good work going on. There's always has been a lot of good work going on in London. People are really welcoming and open and vibrant and innovative, and we want to capture some of that, especially with businesses, so that we can support refugees to thrive.
For the last 2 years, we've been running a training program for refugees. We partner with a charity called Transitions, who specialise in resettling of refugees into the UK. What we have designed is a 6-month internship program where we've selected between 5 and 10 refugees within certain roles, be it engineering, project management, design, as well as surveying. And we provide coaching, mentoring, business language training, as well as just an experience of operating within the UK workforce.
Well, we're a tea company. We sell tea in different ways. We work directly with bodies like Refugee Council, Breaking Barriers, or even contacts who work within the refugee community. We post our adverts to look for people who want to find work, and then we employ them directly within the business across different roles, and we sell tea in festivals and markets and events. It's mainly working with people who want to find jobs to boost their confidence and communication skills.
So we're looking for people not necessarily with cemented ideas, who know exactly what business they want to launch in the UK, but who have entrepreneurial experience, entrepreneurial endeavours, and we help them to convert that into a UK business. We worked with 3 entrepreneurs to start with, and one of them was a Zimbabwean lady called Faith, who was based up in Nottingham. She was an asylum seeker for 5 years, so couldn't work for that period of time. During that time, she took part in education, she fought for her own rights and advocacy, launched something called the African Women's Empowerment Forum, and then when she finally got her status, she wanted to become an entrepreneur again. She'd been an entrepreneur in her own country with several businesses, and we helped her relaunch something called Faji Fashions, which is an African fashion brand that does really bright African colours and brings it into the UK market. She's doing brilliantly up in Nottingham.
Welcome to City Hall for all of you who are here today. Thanks for coming in. It's a lovely view. We like to welcome people with this. I'm sorry about the fog, but there's not much we can do about that. My name's Julia Slay, and I'm the Assistant Director of Communities and the Social Policy team here at the GLA. And that's one of the departments that works with the Mayor and with Deputy Mayor Matthew Ryder, who covers social integration, social mobility and community engagement. So we have a really broad portfolio of which work around refugee and migrant support is a really key element. And I'm just here to welcome you.
So I think, gentlemen, I'm going to just pass the mics over to you, and if you could describe a little bit about what the Refugee Council's been doing in this space and some advice that you've got for some of the businesses here.
We work with a round of about 300 to 400 refugees a year through our employability scheme. But wrapped around our employability scheme, we also offer support around housing, looking at welfare issues if that's necessary, also looking at access to health services, and looking at kind of wider immigration elements as well. And I wanted to say that because it's important to kind of have that more holistic approach to supporting individuals, recognising those needs.
I would like your advice to businesses who are coming into the sphere who haven't engaged with refugees yet, but I'd also like to ask, what would be your ask of government and policymakers moving forwards? What do you think we could do better, and where should we be looking at more action?
We'd been banging on the Home Office door for a number of years saying we need a refugee integration strategy. We were delighted earlier this year when the green paper on integration included a specific section on refugee integration. So we think the Home Office are listening, and we think they're interested. They don't know this is foreign or uncharted territory to them, as well as it is to many of the NGOs working in the space and certainly to some of the businesses. But we think it's territory well worth marking out and staking out, because the benefits to business are enormous.
What advice would you give to businesses?
These programs are unique. I think someone said all together is how this happens. No one's going to do it alone. There's a community out there, and how you bring that community together. I think for us, you look within to figure out how your program can be unique to your company and to your people. We have 28,000 stores across the world. Some people see that size and kind of go, oh, big bad company. But to us, we see that as how do we leverage that network of stores, and each of those stores is its own community in its own country with its own unique dynamics in its neighborhood. How do we use that to our advantage here to create pathways to opportunity? So really, it's kind of what is your DNA as a company, and how can you use that DNA and unlock that to make a meaningful difference for peoples and refugees? So it's really kind of, there's no one size fits all, and we don't all have to go it alone.
A lot of our work in other areas, including London, is perhaps more focused on how we, not necessarily the initial hurdle of supporting refugees in country, but really supporting the long-term work to assist with the right to remain, as well as supporting refugees to be welcomed and to be supported into their journey into employment and other areas within their new homes.
Following a spectacular discussion, the panellists and experts walked down the famous spiral staircases of City Hall, down to the council chamber, to engage in a workshop and discuss how to streamline the process of employing refugees and forward the values and mission of the Workwell Refugees, Be a Refugee Sponsor, and London is Open online campaigns. Asylum seekers and refugees that made it out of war zones are often stigmatised and represented as lazy or greedy. A false misconception accurately challenged by practitioners, sponsors and successfully resettled refugees.
Quite the opposite. I mean, when you look at someone who's come away from somewhere so difficult, so traumatic, and they've just come into a new society, the first thing that anybody wants to do, starting a new school, you want to fit in, you want to integrate, you work hard. So when we've worked with refugees, they're more hardworking than some of us, and they stick around. They're constantly looking to get more work. They're energetic, they're enthusiastic, and they just say, hey, I'll do it, I want to learn, and it's great.
I was like refugee, and I stay more than 2.5 years, stay at home, and we work, and we come here not to stay at home like this, we come to work. So yeah, I think the government must use us, use our skills. I'm refugee. It's now I want to screen now. I want my voice go high. I'm refugee, okay, and I'm owner of company now. In just 7 months, when they give me leave to remain, I established company. I registered company here now, and I have company. I have containers now. I'm not get benefit from government, so I have employment from here. So why? We are lazy. We work 24 hours in our country. We come here to work like just 8 hours. 8 hours is like this. It's nothing for us, We work in our country 24 hours in a day.
Most of the refugees they are just emigrated from a reason, from the security reason. And I believe that most of the refugees are professionals,
I think a lot of businesses really, really want to get involved, but they don't know how. That's the problem. They just don't know how. Some people are being really innovative in terms of supporting people into the workplace, then when they're in the workplace, giving them the support that they need. Some people are offering refugees products or services. Some people are just offering their venue to be used as a training space. Some people are using their own employees as English tutors and mentors. So there is amazing work happening, but people aren't necessarily talking to each other, and the people that are not part of the conversation and not around the table need to hear all of that discussion.
Everybody wants to see outcomes quicker, so it was about making things more simple, being able to engage with government, so getting paperwork quicker, reaching out to refugees, so refugee matching. And I think it was really encouraging listening to the businesses being so open. So you've got some amazing businesses here today. You've had Linklaters, you've had Starbucks, Arcadas, really big names, but you've also had small names. You've had small SMEs like Nemi Teas really talking about what they're trying to do with refugees and their success stories.